Hey, good evening YouTube, how are you doing? Yes, it's great to be back here for my second video of this new channel. So yeah, early days yet, but hopefully progressing in the right direction. Thank you very much for being here. It means so much to me, it really does. And it means so much to my puppy. Look, I've got puppy. Look, puppy. Puppy, come on. Come and say hello to YouTube. Come on, that's it, you little fatty fat. Yes. There you go, you're going on YouTube. Yes, you are. Ow, that was my nose. Yes. Yes, you're very sweet. Yes. I love you and YouTube loves you. Yes, it's absolutely true. 100%. There you go. Oh. Oh. There you go, good girl. Down you go. Thank you. Right, well that was the puppy old doll moment out of the way. So, yes, here we are, another show, and an important question that I wanted to ask and get answered. I only have my own answers. Your answers to this question may be very different, and if they are, I would really appreciate you putting a note in the comments or something, and maybe we can follow up around that and see where that takes us, because that would be a really interesting discussion to have. The question that I'm asking is, what do we want from a wristwatch? Or any kind of watch, I suppose, but primarily wristwatches, because that's what we're interested in this channel, by and large. Now, I follow a number of watch channels online, and it's not a question that I have seen asked, let alone be answered. That said, I may have missed it, so, you're welcome to tell me that, yeah, I answered this question in 2015. You'd go and look at my channel, fantastic. I'm just sorry I didn't see it, but anyway, I wanted to give my own take on it, and see if you agree. If you disagree, then fantastic. Let's see your comment and we can take it from there. I guess there is an assumption around that question that as those of us who have an interest in horology, that are interested in watches generally, and timepieces, etc. Maybe there's an assumption that we know what we want from a watch, so it's an irrelevant question. I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think that there are many different things we want, and your take may not be mine. So therefore it's an important question. It's a good one to ask. It's even better to get it answered. So, what do we want from wristwatches? That's where we're starting. But before we go any further, we got to get rid of this puppy because she's being a pain now. But we should do a wristwatch check. There we go. It is my Timex Expedition. I put it on a Bond NATO in the colour of Birmingham Bears, as per my wristband, which is a shark's jawbone paracord, Mad Max style. Yeah, if you don't know who Birmingham Bears are, you're probably not a cricket fan. If you should know who they are, really, because cricket is the best game in the world. Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? Fantastic. Okay. First things first, the first thing I want from a watch is accuracy. It's got to be able to tell me the time when I want to know what time it is. That sounds like a no-brainer, but no, it's important. I'm not talking sort of like accuracy like an atomic clock, but if it's losing minutes a day, then you're going to be late for appointments, you're going to miss stuff. And that's not acceptable. So it's got to be good enough to get you through the day without being reset. I would say actually, if I've got to reset the time on a watch that is wound, for a whole week, then if I need to reset it more than once a week, its standard of accuracy is not good enough for me. So I would probably swap it out for something else. It's just, what is the point of having a watch that doesn't tell you the proper time? Otherwise it's just a piece of jewellery. That's very similar to my next point, which is reliability. If you're out and about heading for an important meeting and your watch is stopped, you've probably been in that situation. I know I have. It can be infuriating. It can throw your day right off, and it can cause you quite serious problems. So it needs to be reliable. I don't know whether you have dabbled in vintage watches. I certainly have. I don't have too many, but they need to be reliable, and if they're not, then they're but they can be more, rather less reliable than modern watches. To a certain extent, you pay your money and you take your choice. What you need to know though is your watch is going to work. When you put yourself through your paces, that is exactly when you want it to work, and if it doesn't, if it lets you down, it's no good. It's junk. You want your watch working, particularly in situations where accurate time telling is important. So that is my second most important point. I think if it stops functioning. Third point, legibility. So many watches these days have incredibly complex faces, so much so that I personally find it quite difficult to read them properly, especially some of the minor functions. Yes, it's great to have watches that do everything. I've seen a watch designed by Sylvester Stallone. It retails for over £1 million, or $1 million anyway, and it does everything apart from make the tea. But it's got all these functions built into it, and it's compass, spirit level, all that sort of stuff, and it just you can't see half of what it does. If like me you find that as you reach a certain age you start needing to wear glasses, or you wore glasses anyway, it makes it even more difficult. If I have to stop and double check that I'm reading my watch right, that's not really working for me. I'm still getting used to wearing glasses, but I want to actually look at my watch. That is the time, that is the date, those are the other functions. Sure, I may need to wear glasses as mitigating to mitigate short-sightedness and age, etc. But I need to be able to not focus on what the hell is that. If I have to do that, it's useless. It's just junk. So yeah. And it goes for nighttime as well. Good loo is really important. I want to be able to tell the time wherever I am, whatever time of day or night it is. If I'm awake needing to tell the time, then I need a watch that will tell me the time when I'm awake. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. Number 4, ease of use. Functionality is great, but it comes with the cost of complexity, and many watches come with seriously long, complicated instruction manuals. It's great, perhaps, if you just got one watch, if you wear it always and you always use those functions frequently, but it's no good if you wear it. Those of us, you and I probably have a number of watches. We wear different watches daily. We sometimes wear more than one watch daily, and you can't remember all the finer functionality of certain watches. So if you have to then go and look up that functionality in the really long instruction manual, or go online to look at what does what, then you're missing out on a function, because you probably won't be in a situation to be able to do that. And if you are in a situation where you actually are able to look up the functionality, then do you need to? You could probably find whatever it is you need anyway. So I think it's a simple fact of life. I put my watch on in the morning and I'll probably take it off towards the evening unless I change it or shower or something. But if I have problems working a function of a watch, then I probably won't use that watch very much. Point 5, robustness. Life deals us knocks and scrapes all the time. It's just one of those things. I need my watch to be able to cope with that, without breaking down on me, without stopping, without suddenly telling the time wrongly or inaccurately, or there are limits, of course. If you fall off your motorbike and your watch takes a big bang then and shatters into a million pieces, yeah, you can't really blame the watch for that. But it needs to be able to be reasonably shock resistant. It needs to be able to withstand knocks, scrapes, scratches, without actually really impairing the function. Otherwise it's just so delicate you can't take it anywhere. I think you're not talking about it withstanding nuclear blast or something like that, but it's just got to cope with the day-to-day indignities that life throws at us. We all know the story of G-Shock and how they came about, so I'm not going to repeat that here. But yeah, I have a lot of sympathy with that idea. It's got to work, and it's got to be able to take a, to coin the Timex phrase, takes a licking, keeps on ticking. And I think that's a really true maxim. Yeah. Number 6, suitability. I wouldn't wear a 15 grand Rolex when I'm going potholing. Neither would I wear my G-Shock to a black tie dinner and dance. It's been known for me to wear a black tie, so don't get cocky. They've got to look the part, whatever the occasion, horses for courses, as they say. And I think that is one of the main reasons for having a decent collection of watches. You want the beater for doing the knockabout stuff, a smart business casual for the main part of the day, and maybe a dress watch for formal occasions. Breakfast, dinner and tea, as they say. And then you can multiply that across a range of different watches. But yeah, it's got to suit the occasion. That is closely tied in with my next point, which is number 7, which is the aesthetics of the watch. It's got to look good, but it has to look good to me. It doesn't have to look good to you, because you're not the one wearing it, you're not the one shelling out for it, unless you bought me a present. But it has to work for me, it has to suit my sensibilities. Otherwise, why would I wear it? If I don't like the way it looks, then I'm very unlikely to use it. That's a really personal thing. What looks good to me may not be the same for you. But I think it's important to state, don't wear something just because others say it looks good. You've got to feel that. You've got to actually believe in that to get the most value and enjoyment out of it. Otherwise, it's you're wasting your time. That is not dissimilar to my final point, which I think is the most personal point I'm making here, and that is distinction. I want something that's, generally speaking, going to stand out from the crowd, something that not everybody else is wearing, not ubiquitous, at least less ubiquitous than it otherwise might be. Sometimes that means going left field in terms of brand, but if you stay with with the better known brands, you can choose lesser known models within the collections, or you can do a little bit of custom modding, from changing the strap to modifications. The SKX Seikos are a perfect case in point, where they are ultimately moddable, and I will be speaking with Sam from the Casual Watch Reviewer about that on a video on his channel, so you can take a look at that. But yeah, I don't want something that everybody else is wearing. Many years ago, I worked for a major vehicle importer down in the southeast of England, and they started bringing in a brand new vehicle, a two-seater sports car with a 600cc engine. Completely impractical, other than for scooting around country lanes on a Sunday afternoon. You know, you couldn't get a bag of shopping in it. You know, it really was that small. But I said to the sales manager, you know, why is there a market for it? And he said, because your neighbour won't have one. And I thought, you know, that's actually a really good point. You know, otherwise we'd all be driving Mondeos, and we don't want that, do we? That counts for a lot. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and of course, if you did, please like, comment, subscribe. I would love to know what you think about my top 8 points of you know, what I want from a watch, and if you can think of any others that I haven't covered or you want to expand on them, absolutely feel free. I would love to hear what you've got to say on the subject. Ding the bell if you haven't already done so, so that you're informed when a new video comes up, and you can find out when they, you know, as soon as they are published. That's it. I'll pin the most interesting comment. How about that? Yeah. That's it from me. I'll see you again very soon. And in the meanwhile, be good to yourselves. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye bye.